This is the 2024 Mercedes Benz Maybach S680. Is there anything missing? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're back at Mercedes Benz of Shreveport to give you the ultimate luxury experience with all kinds of interesting technology balanced in with this Maybach. If you want to come in and buy this model, whether you live in Shreveport or maybe somewhere else at Mercedes Benz of Shreveport, check out the link down in the description of the video. Tell whoever you talk to at the dealership that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you their way. And there is so much to talk about here. We're going to start off on this side with the headlight housing. Everything is LED, but I like the design overall is so different from what we normally see. It almost looks like a crystallized look with your LED daytime running lights right here. You're gonna have the lighting right down here that just gives it that really elegant touch, and you'll have LED headlights as well. And one thing that definitely works here, I know a lot of people have told me in the past that chrome is outdated. Some people say it's not. I say it's not, and it's definitely appropriate in this case. With the surround in this area, you're going to have your sensors, obviously a lot of great safety features, and then we have the chrome grille that I think is very appropriate. We'll have a little ASMR moment of sorts. And then you're going to notice the plate right here. That's actually for gathering up the information for the safety, driving aids, all that kind of stuff, and projecting it back where it needs to go. But the surround, that's going to be nice. You're going to have the hood ornament right here. That's going to be in chrome as well. I actually had somebody ask if that was illegal. I'm not sure where they came up with that idea, but it's not illegal. And what's really interesting about this, especially with this exterior color being as dark as it is that you've got this chrome strip that works its way, kind of looks like it almost comes off of the hood ornament and works its way up all the way through the center of the hood and really gives a nice accentuation to the lines here, just kind of separating things apart, setting things out, making it look really nice. I like that. The lines are aggressive overall. We have the turn signal indicator turned on right here, so that gives you an idea of how that looks. Make sure your driver uses that. You can scold them from the back seat if they don't, because you're not going to be driving if you have one of these Maybachs. And how about your tire and wheel setup? Your tread width is going to be 265. The 35 series sidewall, which actually is a pretty low profile tire, wrapped around the 21-inch wheels. Going to have the Mercedes Benz logo and the Maybach logo here on the center cap. And let me just step back just a little bit here. There's something that might gain some interest. Yes, there is a V12 under the hood, and we'll give you a good look at all the details on that in just a little bit. Now, there is an interesting combination here. On the doors, at the bottom of the doors down here, you're going to find some chrome trim, but you'll have brushed aluminum around the windows. Tell me what you think about that. Should that be chrome as well, or maybe brushed aluminum down here? Our power folding side view mirrors are here. Turn signal indicators built in, nice and bright. That's going to be LED. They're heated, they're power adjustable, and they're going to have blind spot monitoring built in as well. And here is your remote. Give you a nice look at that. Now, it does have remote start available, but that's going to be in the Mercedes Benz Mercedes Me app. You do have the Maybach name right there. Other than that, it's basically just kind of your typical Mercedes remote, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. And one of my favorite features is found right here with the motion sensor for the door handles to be deployed. And you can see some of the lighting right here, not only in this area, right back here, and hopefully that's showing up on the screen. It's also down here on the bottom. I know that would show up a lot better in a darker atmosphere, but we're just having to work with what we have today. And then to put those back in place, we do that right there. And I'll let Austin show you the side view mirrors, because we can also show you the folding functionality that I mentioned to you earlier in the video. That's going to correspond with whether or not the interior is locked or unlocked. And we have really, it's not exactly a panoramic sunroof, kind of a split sunroof look here or design, the front portion and then the rear portion back here. And you'll obviously notice that these doors are very wide, easy to get in and out of, so that way when your chauffeur comes out to let you in and let you out and do all that kind of stuff, it's very easy to do that. And something you're going to find in more places than I'm willing to take the time to count is that Maybach logo. It is literally everywhere on the exterior and the interior. And we'll finish things off here with the LED taillights. That looks really nice. We'll give you a little bit of a look at how that works, locking and unlocking the interior, just so you can see some of that. There's our S580 logo, a little bit more trim right here with the chrome, but I think that definitely works. And obviously your Maybach logo. Now we do have the lights illuminated right here where you can see the elements. They are LED, everything is LED here with your lighting. And then we work our way down here to the bottom. I don't know how easily we can give you a view here, but I think it's kind of interesting with these tailpipes because it looks almost like an adjustment for an air conditioner. It's as if you can change the angle at which your exhaust is flowing. And before we talk about what's under the hood, I need to open the hood, but I like this because you're going to notice, you might have heard that. I know you couldn't see it, but I pulled on the hood release 2 times, and there's a reason for that, because all I have to do is come here and open the hood. I like that. No hood release to deal with. It's a 6-liter turbocharged V12, as you can see. It has a monstrous amount of horsepower, as it should. 621 horsepower, 664 pounds-feet of torque. All of that's going to be mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And how about your MPGs, in case you're curious? This is a large, heavy vehicle with a big engine. So we're looking at 12 miles per gallon city, 20 miles per gallon highway, and 15 combined. And you might wonder, with that large of an engine, it's going to be thirsty. Let's come back here and take a look at what we have as far as our gas tank goes. You have the gas cap as opposed to capless fuel fill, and when you fill up, it has a 22.2 gallon gas tank. And how about cargo capacity? Well, it is kind of minimal here, and there's a reason for that. We'll open the power trunk with one of the many options you have for doing that. Now, you do have 12 cubic feet worth of cargo capacity back here. Quite a few suitcases and different things like that can go back here, but you can see what we have right here that's taking up a lot of our cargo capacity, and that is going to be the refrigerator. Now there is lighting back here, some cargo lighting. We're going to have one on each side. I like that. Plenty of room behind the fender well right here, so just snag that space up for whatever you need. You can throw that in there. And then underneath the floor, now you're not going to find a spare tire here because, again, no space for one. Just one of those things you have to deal with. But you know what? You can send your chauffeur down the road to deal with that if you need to. Just makes life a lot easier, doesn't it? And we're going to do things a little backwards today. Normally we start in the back seat and work our way to the front. But since there's so much in the back, we're going to start on the front and work our way to the back. Hey, I got that in one scene. That's pretty good. What is the sticker price? I always give that when I'm sitting in the driver's seat. $252,545. Austin promised to float a loan to you if you need it for the expense, if you need to come in and buy this model. Okay. I'm lying a little bit there. I really can't give him that much of a raise, but I'm sure he'd like that. Let's see what else you get for the sticker price. And you can see the nice, bright, ambient lighting. It is throughout the interior here in the front, also in the rear. 64 different colors to choose from, several different color combinations. We'll show you more as we get to that area of the video. As you look at the door panel over there on the driver's side, you have everything you need. Everything for the ventilated and heated seats, seat memory, all of the different seat settings, and plenty of ambient lighting. You've got that nicely lit door bin down there, so your passenger up front knows where to find that. And then a huge armrest. That definitely does a nice job. That works out really well. And then we're going to have our glove box, something that's just old-fashioned, I guess, nothing unusual. All vehicles have that, so you don't have to buy a Maybach to have that. And if you're wondering what this is right here, that's where your fragrance goes. And there are a number of fragrances you can choose from, depending on what you want the interior of your Maybach S680 to smell like. Now, I'm going to grab the camera, not the remote, but the camera, and show you what's going on over here. So we have quite a few things going on with the driver's side door panel. Again, we're going to have everything for the seat controls and all that good stuff as far as that goes. And then we can control our lights right here with this switch. We can just set that to auto if we want to, and then everything stays on. So kind of interesting because there is that control, and then you'll have the control right here for starting and stopping the engine and turning your auto stop start on or off depending on what you want to do. that's pretty easy to deal with. But I did want to show you that right there because it's interesting, because it almost looks like you have two start-stop buttons in case you're not used to seeing this. And then all of your controls for your side view mirrors, power windows, all of that good stuff. And you can open and close, or your driver can open and close the trunk right here. The steering wheel is very, very comfortable. I like the interior colors and finishes that we have here. It is tilt and telescopically adjustable. You can come in here and make adjustments to the screen, the instrument cluster, depending on what the driver wants to see, unless you're driving yourself and chauffeuring your family around or your friends, whatever the case is. But you can see that you have a few different things here, including my favorite, which would be the sporty look. And here's what's interesting about that, is that it also changes the look of the center screen when you do that too. I'm not going to go through everything, but just to show you a couple of the differences here as far as that goes, in case you were curious. Now, you can also operate the center screen from right here on the right hand side with those steering wheel mounted controls. Turn signal indicators are here. At this price point, you would expect they would be. Oh, wait a second, they're on every single vehicle out there, just not every single person uses them. And we have the controls here for our windshield wipers as well. People do tend to use those more than they use their blinkers. Shifter paddles for when your chauffeur is feeling sporty and wants to have a spirited drive even when you're sitting in the back seat. And so that's kind of cool. I like that. Very neat. Interesting thing here, I like the design of the air conditioning vents up here. It just looks right. It looks luxurious. It has a nice modern look to it. And the center screen right here, that definitely does a nice job of taking care of everything you could possibly need. We're going to hit home right there and bring up this screen. You can obviously see that there's built-in navigation. To get to all of your apps, you're going to go right here. You can see that you have the built-in dash cam right there, Mercedes Me, the browser. You can see what all is here. That's where your gallery is going to be, where all your clips are stored from your dash cam. And then we'll go back right here. We can go to settings. I'm not going to cover everything here, but just to kind of show you what's going on, a few different things. There's assistance. If you want to have that, we can bring that back. The animation and the response is very impressive here. So you can see what all we have here. Collision avoidance, we're going to have that as far as our safety features go. Active brake assist, active lane keeping assist, and then our active blind spot assist. And then when we go over here to vehicle, we'll just show you quickly what a few of these things are here as far as that goes. You even have your toll system, so if you're driving on toll roads on a regular basis, you can set that up. Kind of a neat little thing to have. I don't particularly like paying for toll roads, but sometimes it's beneficial because it gets you there faster. Now you have all of your lighting set up right here, your digital light, your interior and exterior lighting. You can set things up. I don't know if we can show you the projection right there. We might try and do that later in the video, but you can see that it's there. It's just kind of hard to do inside of the showroom here because it's just light enough to where that might be a little bit of a challenge. And then your exterior lighting delay, you can see that you have a few different options as far as the time goes on that, or you can just turn that off if you want to. And let's go back here. I don't need to hit that area. Ambient lighting, I told you we were going to look at this, and there's a lot going on here as far as your settings that you can manage. There are a total of 64 different colors, as you can see right there. And then we'll go over here and show you a couple of the different colors. Hopefully it shows up well. That's not too bad. It's dark enough right now where I think you can actually see some of these colors. Sometimes we have a hard time showing those, but the blues, the darker colors, the darker they get, the better they seem to show up. That red shows up really well. I like that. I think I'm just going to leave that there because, well, red's my favorite color. But that's not all you can do here. Maybe it's too bright and you want to change the brightness, and you can change it by zone if you want to. So we can do that right there. We can change different things. Boy, I'm just all of a sudden hitting things I shouldn't be hitting right there. Let's go back in there real quick. Back to our settings. There we go. So you can obviously link the zones together, or you can do these, like I said, individually. That's how you're going to do that. So there's your individual zones, depending on what you want to do. We'll leave that the way it was since that's the way we found it. Or you have your effects. If you want to change your effects here, you can do that. Now, one thing I did want to go back and show you is that we also have the multicolor option right here. And there are quite a few options, as you can see right there. So you can see the difference in the colors, how it fades from one color to another. We'll try another color combination just to show you how that looks. Showing up quite nicely. Hopefully the camera is picking that up the way that we're seeing it in person. You can see that fade right there. I think that looks really nice. And then we'll go right here. So depending on what you want, you can go with multicolor or the monochrome as we normally have right here. And we'll go back home right here and go and just take a look at a couple of other things. You do have the phone right there. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, radio and media. Info is going to be right here. Now, I can't really show you too much because we're not starting the vehicle here in the showroom, but just so you can know what is here, it will give you all of that great information. And by the way, you do manage the air conditioning here in the infotainment screen. So if you're wondering about that, that's where it's going to be done. We can go to our climate menu right there. Let's see if we can get that to come up for us. And we're not going to turn everything on because I don't want to get any water or anything on the floor here, but you can see some of the things that we have as far as the comfort goes. You can even go over here to air quality if you want to do that. Again, very nice graphics that accompany everything that is here. And we'll work our way down here to the lower portion of the screen. I lied. I am going to start the vehicle for just a second here. And we're going to do that just so that we can show you the cameras, because there are cameras literally everywhere on and around this vehicle. I really like that. It looks really cool. You can see everything you need to see from every potential angle possible. I really like how that works. Depending on what you need to see, you can make your choices right there. And so we will turn that back on, make sure everything is on, and we can continue on here. But you really just use the hunt and peck method here. Depending on what you need to do as far as all of that goes, you can see what all is here. Now, like I said, your air conditioning is managed here in the infotainment screen. So you won't be able to do that by feel, basically. Maybe somebody's talented enough to do that, but I'm not. So you have to be able to actually come here into the screen to do that. You can change the temperature and the fan speed and all that good stuff. Now, let's move right down here. We have a lot of piano black finish, so hopefully your driver isn't playing the piano on that, leaving fingerprints. Wireless charging pad is going to be right there. You've got USB ports to the right of that. And then our nice large cup holders, that's going to do a good job. And our Bombay doors right there, couple more USB ports. There are plenty of USB ports throughout the interior and a little bit of space within that area. And real quick, the upper console, a little bit more ambient lighting, and I'll just let you see what's up there. And real quick, before we hop into the back seat, you can see our front sunroof right here. It is nice and large. There is a power shade that can be drawn forward if so desired. There we go. We'll let that come up. We'll bring it back just because that's the way it was when we hopped in here. Whoops, I didn't do that correctly, did I? Come on, go back. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. You can tell I'm not used to the Maybach, or it doesn't like me or something like that. But let's hop into the back seat and go ahead and take a look at what you're going to find back there. All right, welcome to the back seat. Let me close the door real quick. How cool is that? That's pretty neat. That way, if your chauffeur is lazy, you can do it yourself. And you still don't have to get out to do it or pull on the door. What do you think about the change in the lighting colors back here? Now you can see that we have lighting in all of the places you expect to see, maybe in a place that you don't expect to see. Down there on the seat back, I really like that. Again, there's that Maybach logo. So many different places throughout the interior, but I just love how Mercedes Benz outfits these models. And Austin has himself nice and reclined. I'm paying him enough money where he can take a break, I guess. But you can actually move the passenger seat forward and take advantage of this recline section right here, or kind of a footrest of sorts, where you can be very comfortable and really enjoy what's going on. Now, it does take a little bit of time for that to happen. And you know what? If you aren't happy with how much sun is coming through the sunroof right here, well, all you have to do is do that. Now, if you talk with your hands on a regular basis, that's probably not a good option to have. So for those of you who are always talking like this and doing all this kind of stuff, because eventually you're going to do this, well, I say you are. Let's see if we can get it to work. Come on, don't let me down. There we go. finally got that to work for us. Sometimes that happens. But you can see some of these awesome features that you have. And by the way, going back to the doors, here's one more thing that you can do right here. That button right there, here's what happens when I push that button. That's going to open the door for me. Well, I say it's going to. I've got to hold that button down and open it all the way. There we go. And then obviously I can do that again. And you saw the screens on the back of the headrests for the front seats that are for your rear seat passengers. That is really nice. It has everything that you have in the infotainment screen, that Pivi Pro infotainment screen up there. They can go in and make changes and do whatever they need to do right there. Even see navigation, just to show you one of the great things that's here. Now, let's also talk about, with all this leg space right here, this is one reason why you don't have a lot of cargo space back there. It's because of this increased rear seat area. You can be so comfortable. But the thing I like is, watch this. See how little recline I have in my seat right now? I'm going to show you how much I can increase that. I can just about lay down as much as I want to. Maybe not all the way, but it does go far back. Good night. It goes further back than I thought it did. There we go. So that's nice and cool, nice and comfortable. I really like that. I can bring that back up just a little bit. The thing is, just hold your finger on there and it works. You can move so much around in here that it's just perfect, however you want it to be. Now, we also have the air conditioning vents right here. There's not only 2 air conditioning vents here, but also one on the door pillar on each side. So there you go. Quite a bit of airflow going on here, and all of the controls, not only for that, but for direction and all that kind of stuff, where the air is going. All of that, and then a couple of cup holders right here. But that's not all we have. Those are actually heated and cooled cup holders, by the way. Right here, you have champagne flutes that come with the Maybach, and they sit in here, and they actually lock in place. So it's a pretty cool setup, as you can see right there. So when you push that down, the champagne flute down, the bottom is going to be locked in, and they'll stay in place. Quite a bit going on right there. I like that. That's really cool. In fact, why am I doing it that way when I can do it this way? There we go. Take the easy way out of that. Everything is power here. I just did that by habit, I guess, because I don't own a Maybach. Imagine that. I am doing well on YouTube, but not that well. Watch more of my videos so Austin can start chauffeuring me around in my Maybach. That would be pretty cool. Both the right and left side passengers back here can control all of that. And we'll see, obviously, some more of that ambient lighting, highlighting that area. Now, we don't have it here, but there is a tablet that can be set right here. It is able to be used to get on the internet and all those good things, but it's not here because obviously I'm sure Mercedes Benz of Shreveport doesn't want anybody to take that home when they don't take the rest of the Maybach home. A little more ambient lighting here on the lid for the center console, and within the center console is going to be a wireless charging pad. Some more USB connectivity in the back there, but let me go ahead and do this. Put my phone on there so you can see that come to life. And you not only have USB, but you also have a 12 volt right there. And I hope Austin's belt buckle is illuminated so he can show you that. Yes, it is. That's something that you can use that is very nice, makes it very easy and very cool. Speaking of cool, I didn't really mean for that to work out that way, but it sure did. Speaking of cool, here's where you're going to keep your champagne if you need to, or whatever else you want in there that will at least fit. There is that refrigerator. We showed you that from the outside earlier, but there is where that is located. Quite a few cool things going on here, and you can see that there are speakers all over the place. Up here in the roof area, we also have them down here on the doors themselves, again highlighted by some of the lighting. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and recline my seat back one more time because we've been filming videos all morning. It's time for a break. And now that my break is over, well, it's time to eat. Well, that would be kind of interesting back here, wouldn't it? Well, maybe more interesting than you think, because right down here, and you probably saw these earlier, but you have the tray tables, and that might not look very big at first, but guess what? you can fold that open just like that. You can position it a couple of different ways depending on what you want to do. This is one of those things where you just kind of have to play with it to figure it out. Like I like to call it the hunt and peck method. And just so you know, when you go to put it back in, it goes this way. Don't try and do it like this, even though you can fold it down, but that's not going to go back in. You fold it down like this and then put it right back in place. I mean, it literally everything is here with the exception of running water. And some of the basic functionality here, the rear seat pockets, which is kind of interesting, not typical. It's not the net material, but it's also not the typical kind of rubbery material that you normally have back here. But it's a Maybach. It has to be different. And what happens if there's too much sun coming in or wandering eyes are looking in? Well, first of all, you can use that button right there to bring up the privacy shade, or maybe you look behind you and there's someone behind you that you don't want looking in, or it's just too bright. Well, you can also bring the shade up back there. Obviously, there's also one over on the passenger side. There is so much here. I don't know if we covered everything, but we did try to hit the high points for you. And now that I'm ready to get out, I'm just gonna, again, push that button right there. Well, I'm gonna hold that button down and let the door open up for me. And there we go, I can get out now. And there it is, the 2024 version of the Mercedes Benz Maybach S680. Is there anything missing? Tell me down in the comments section what you think. We do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Mercedes Benz of Shreveport for giving us the opportunity to tell you all about this Maybach. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. Make sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss any future videos. Make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.